is Trinity Kuchek, and it is my honor to be here as your funeral celebrant to celebrate the life of Margaret Graham. Margaret was born under the Taurus sign in a generation known as the Silent Generation on Friday, May 14th, 1937. She passed away peacefully on July 13th, 2023, at the age of 86. 86 years of memories each of you will carry differently within your hearts. The one thing you all share is that Margaret's passing has left a hole in each of you, but her smile and her love will always be felt in those that she has left behind. So on behalf of the family, thank you for being here to show your support to not only the family, but to this amazing woman we are celebrating today. When I use the word celebrate, I am not meaning to employ a joyous occasion, but rather a time when you, as a group, have come together to share in a common connection. That common connection is the very name that will forever be a part of your hearts and your minds, Margaret. Shakespeare once wrote, "How far that little candle throws its beam, so shines a good deed in a weary world." Shakespeare was speaking about guidance, that through any darkness that the world is faced with, the light from a candle will show you the way. I would like to invite Jeremy to come up to light the candle that will begin our service. As you watch it flicker and grow, remember Margaret, for she is now your peace, your beauty, and your strength. As a funeral celebrant, many times we find ourselves not knowing the loved one who has passed away. Like a stranger on the street, we meet the person for the first time through the eyes of those they are survived by. As I sat across from Margaret's family, I was given a chance through their words to understand this beautiful woman, even if it was in the slightest way. They opened their hearts and shared with me her love of her friends and her family, explaining that if it meant socializing with a hot coffee or a lunch date, Margaret was surely there. Maybe even in her sundress and sandals. She had lots of friends and could make new friends anywhere that she turned. And you can bet that you were greeted by Margaret with a hug. Margaret had a shining light around her. She displayed life in its entirety of beauty and clarity. And to share with us some of the memories of Margaret, I would like to invite Kate to come up to the podium.
Hi everybody, I'm Kathy, one of Margaret's nieces. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Margaret's life today. We are here to celebrate what a wonderful person she was. Margaret was born the oldest child of Kate and Bill Graham. She was born on the McLeod family farm, her grandparents' farm. Margaret was the oldest of 5 siblings, followed by Norman, Bellanne, Colin, and Wilma. Her and her siblings spent a lot of time at the McLeod farm while growing up. Sulcos was known as a lake town. Many of her summers were spent walking down the railroad tracks to get down to the lake. She used to go swimming, watch ball games, and hang out. The town was always hopping for Canada Day, sports days, and the annual summer fair. When Margaret was about 9, she was eager to learn to ride a horse. She fell off the horse on her first try and never had the desire to ride again. When Margaret was 18, she moved to Watrous, Saskatchewan, and worked as a nurse's aide in the hospital. She moved to Edmonton a couple years later, where she lived for over 60 years. She worked for the government of Alberta and at one point was able to transfer to Canmore, Alberta. She loved the mountains and was able to enjoy them for a couple of years. The rest of us were lucky to go for visits and have many memories from that time. Margaret moved about 20 times in her life. Her sister Belle-Anne was always there to lend a helping hand in moving her stuff from place to place. The worst move was during the deadly tornado in Edmonton in 1987, but it all worked out fine in the end. Margaret loved to travel with her good friend Gloria. They went to many places across Canada and the United States. She also went to Scotland with Auntie Jean, and they had a fantastic time exploring the Isle of Lewis, other parts of Scotland, and meeting new relatives. I was always a collector of things when I was young, and Margaret would mail me a postcard from all the places she visited. I still have a lot of them in a box at home. She also made many road trips with her sisters Belle-Anne and Wilma to their hometown of Sulcos to visit with family and friends. Margaret had many friends. She was part of a sorority, and Margaret loved to socialize. Going for lunch and coffee were favorites of hers. She was especially close to the McInnes family, and she spent many family occasions with them. Sheila was very close, like another sister to her. Sheila was a great comfort to Margaret at the end and spent many hours visiting her. Myself and my siblings, Russ, Warren, Bill, and Joe, were very blessed that she spent so much time with us. She used to take us out for a birthday dinner. My first memories are of going to McDonald's, all the way up to the creperie when I was older. She used to bake us Christmas cookies and make each of us a basket of her own, so we wouldn't fight over them. Margaret's homemade buns were a favorite of everybody's, as well as her antipasto and lazy cabbage rolls. Margaret was close to her cousin Lorna. They both had a passion for knitting, and many people benefited from this. She knit us, myself and siblings, heavy warm zip-up sweaters that lasted us many years. We all loved them and wore them until we no longer could. Margaret touched many lives. She had so many people that cared about her. There is too many to mention. She considered her nieces, nephews, great-nieces, and great-nephews all very special. We discovered that she had folders for everyone with pictures and any cards that were made or given to her. We also discovered that many people felt Margaret was a part of their family. We were also fortunate to call her our friend, sister, and auntie.
Thank you, Kathy. I just got so close to you that I guess I just took your name and I shortened it down for you. Thank you, Kathy, so much. As you all came up, there was a box on the table to place a memory or note of Margaret. I have been given the honor of reading those messages to honor Margaret and the impact that she made on each of you. Margaret lived a life of quiet generosity and acceptance of others. I will miss her terribly. Margaret was famous for her cookies, and everyone always cherished them, especially at Christmas time. Amazing Auntie, loved you, hugs. Your homemade antipasto, your Christmas cookies, you coming out after work to visit us, your love for coffee, I will miss you. Margaret, our memories will never fade. You forever will be in my heart as I remember all the good times with you. I loved going for lunches with Margaret, and once we went on a road trip to Saltwats. Did I say that right? Pardon? Salco, thank you. Together, we had a lot of fun. My memory is of Aunt Margaret knitting me a sweater. I love her. She would always let me have more candy than my mom said. Thank you, everyone, for making your note, sharing a memory. They say a photograph is a memory that stays with you forever. Margaret's family has put together a video tribute in honor of her. As you reflect on the words that you have just heard and on your own memories of Margaret, let us take a moment to watch her story.
Happy birthday, dear Margaret. Happy birthday to you. Got it? You want to do it? And blow it up. Yeah, do it. Oh, there's another one. Slow. You got it. No. Oh. You tried.
What a beautiful collection of photos and videos. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I would like to now take this opportunity to invite Warren up to read the poem titled No Matter What.
No matter what, Debbie Gliori. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your hearts can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of love that you have shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she wanted. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on.
Beautiful poem and very nicely read. Thank you so much. While not every moment was easy and not every memory etched in gold, Margaret's final chapter she gave to each of you, she did with love and devotion. As time goes on, you are going to remember the stories, the laughter, and the smiles that she gave each of you. You will remember her face, her hugs, the way she loved adventure and being with her friends and family. You will remember her genuine warmth in greeting people, the way her kindness was marked in a world that doesn't always seem so kind. You will remember Margaret. Over time, though, you may lose some of those memories, such as the way she smelled, the way she entered a room, the sound of her voice, or even maybe a laugh. You may possibly even lose a memory that you shared with her. But the memories you do remember will be the ones that you will hold on tight forever. To Belle Ann, May you hold on to the love that your sister gave you. Cherish those memories that are fondest to you. No one can imagine the grief that you may be going through, but they can be there for you when you need it. Take a breath, and when you miss your sister the most, talk to her. For as long as you hold her close in your heart, she will never be far away from you. To the rest of you, her dearest family and friends, you have her memory. Be patient and kind with one another, and allow the time you need to experience grief in the way that fits you. Washington Irving said it best. There's a sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more expressively than 1,000 tongues. They are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love. Margaret was a woman who can never be replaced or forgotten. So accept your tears and expressions of love. Accept the angels in human form who come along with a word, a hug, or just a memory to share. Help each other during the difficult times, the holidays, the anniversaries, the birthdays, or even just the days that you miss her the most, because these are the times you will need each other. Don't let pride take away the feelings in your heart. Let your emotions come as they will for you. And I cannot express this last part enough. No matter what you feel, don't ever let anyone tell you that you are not allowed to grieve. Finally, in remembering Margaret and the woman she was, have a coffee with a friend. Drive fast down a silent road, because we know Margaret had a thing for speed. And if safe to do so, give a neighbor or a friend a hug, just because. Margaret was your legacy, and now you are hers. Go forward in knowing that she will always be a part of your life. As we near the end of the service portion, the family has invited you all for a time of sharing and fellowship in the reception room located downstairs. Thank you again to Johanna, Kathy, Bellanne, and Warren for allowing me to be a part of this time with you in celebrating Margaret. And to all of you for showing your love and support for this wonderful woman that you called friend. Thank you also to Kyra and the funeral home staff for the care and compassion that I know you would have shown this family. Thank you, everyone, and may peace be with you.